The transport shuttle shuddered as it descended into the capital docking bay of Virion Prime, the seat of one of the most feared alien empires in the galaxy. I swallowed hard, my fingers tightening around the edge of my seat. Everywhere I looked, humans sat rigid, silent, anxious. We knew what we were here for. We'd been requested, which meant summoned, by the Virion High Council. And no one in their right mind refused the Virion. The shuttle landed with a metallic groan. The ramp opened, and towering armored figures stepped inside. The Virions were powerful, athletic humanoids with sharp facial markings and luminous eyes. They were built for combat and ruled like it. Humans, offload. Move, one ordered. We obeyed. It wasn't until we were herded toward the entrance hall that I truly saw her for the first time. Commander Naira Valcor, 7 feet tall, lithe and strong, skin marked with silver bioluminescent stripes, armored but without a helmet, her hair braided like a warrior. Yet her posture was something else.
Poised.
Controlled. Regal. You couldn't look away from her even if you wanted to. She scanned the humans, eyes sharp, searching, and then her gaze locked on me. Human. Step forward. I did. My heart hammered. You are Marcus Hale, she said, speaking my name with an accent that somehow made it sound royal. Yes, I breathed. Her expression didn't shift, yet something flickered behind her eyes. You will come with me. I didn't move, couldn't move. One of her soldiers pushed me, but she held up a hand. He comes willingly, or not at all. My legs unfroze instantly. I followed her out of the hall as dozens of humans stared after me, some with pity, some with fear. I expected interrogation, perhaps torture. Instead, she led me through dimly lit corridors into her private tactical chamber. Sit. I sat. For a moment she did nothing, just studied me, like she was trying to confirm something. You do not remember me, do you? She finally asked. I blinked. Should I? A slow exhale escaped her. Years ago, on the border colony of Vexus 3, a Virion diplomatic squad was attacked by mercenaries. A small human child hid a wounded alien from them. My breath hitched. I remembered. A girl. Young, maybe mine or slightly older. Pale from blood loss, whispering in fear, her small hands clutching my shirt. I hid her inside a broken supply tank, shielding her until rescue forces came. I never knew what became of her. You, I whispered. Yes. Her voice trembled. I was that girl, and I never forgot. I stared. That wounded child, now one of the most powerful military leaders in the Empire. And now you're returning the favor? I asked, my voice small.
No.
I am fulfilling a promise. She leaned closer, eyes burning. I vowed that if I ever found you again, I would give you a position of respect, protection, purpose. I laughed once bitterly. I'm a mechanic, a nobody. Her lips curved, almost a smile. To you, perhaps. But to me, you were the boy who saved my life. She turned away, voice quiet. You are assigned to me, and anyone who would harm you will answer to me personally. Weeks passed. I learned that I wasn't a prisoner, more like an honored hostage. I lived in her estate. Not opulent, but elegant and battle-focused. Every day I saw her train, command, negotiate, and strategize. And every day she insisted I accompany her, not as a servant, but as a companion. She spoke to me in the evenings asking about humans, Earth cultures, art, music, values. She was fascinated by the softness of humanity, so unlike her world of constant war. I saw the fearsome warrior become something else behind closed doors, curious, quiet, thoughtful. One day, after a long strategy meeting, She walked into the private lounge, exhausted, shoulders tense. She didn't need words. She collapsed onto the couch beside me. "You are quiet today," she murmured. I didn't want to intrude. A low laugh. "You never intrude." Silence again. Then she turned and looked directly into my eyes. "Marcus, tell me truthfully. What do you think of me?" My face warmed immediately. "What do you mean?" She hesitated, as if this question was dangerous even for her. "Humans fear us, hate us, desire power over us. But I have never known what I am in the human eye." She looked down at her hands. "I have always wondered. My body, my markings, do humans see them as repulsive? Intimidating? Or—" her voice grew barely audible. "Attractive?" My heart pounded. She was asking with real vulnerability, something no Virion would show to anyone. "Naira," I said softly, "you're stunning." She froze. Her eyes widened. Not like she expected praise, but like she'd never believed it possible. Then, in a whisper of disbelief, "You like my body?" Her expression wasn't flirty, not seductive. She was genuinely shocked. "Yes," I said, and my voice didn't shake anymore. "You're strong and powerful, but you're also gentle when you let yourself be. You're beautiful." She stared at me like the universe had cracked open. Virions didn't blush, but the glow in her markings intensified. "No one has ever," she breathed, unable to finish. She stood up as if overwhelmed, pacing like she couldn't contain the moment. "I was raised to be a weapon," she said. "My body is seen as an instrument of war. Nothing more." She turned sharply. "You see beauty where my people see only duty." "Maybe that's why you needed to hear it from a human," I replied, standing. She looked at me with something raw, something dangerous and hopeful. But the moment shattered when the emergency alarm blared. "Commander, the council demands your presence," a soldier shouted through the comm. Naira's mask returned instantly. "Commander again." "You stay here," she ordered. But I ran after her anyway. The council chamber buzzed with chaos. A coup was in motion. Rival factions wanted her removed. A vote was underway to strip her of command, and I could see instantly that human involvement had been weaponized. A council member pointed at me. "See how she keeps a human as her confidant? She is compromised." Murmurs filled the chamber. Naira's jaw clenched. "He is under my protection because he once saved my life. And now you are weak because of it." Another council member spat. "Sentimental. Undisciplined. Softened by her attachment." This wasn't politics, it was character assassination. And I couldn't stay silent. I stepped forward. Naira reached for my arm to stop me, but I pulled free. "You call her weak?" I shouted. "She fights every day for you, for this empire. She works harder than any of you sitting in those comfortable chairs. She has earned her power, not inherited it." Gasps erupted. But I wasn't finished. "You think caring makes someone weak?"
No.
"It makes them dangerous. It gives them something to fight for." The room fell silent. Naira stared at me as if seeing me for the first time. The vote continued. And even though she lost by 1 mark, she didn't bow. She stood tall. "I may lose command, but I will never stop fighting for my people. And those under my protection will remain protected." She walked out. I followed. Back in her chambers, she finally let the armor fall, emotion flooding her eyes. "You defied an entire empire for me," she whispered. "You've been protecting me since the day I got here." I replied. "I wasn't about to let you stand alone." She stepped closer, inches apart. "No human has ever spoken for a Virion like that," she breathed. "And no Virion has ever cared for a human the way I—" her voice trembled. "The way I care for you." My chest tightened. Then don't hide it. For a moment she searched my face, looking for doubt, fear, hesitation. She found none. Her hand rested lightly against my jaw, not possessive, not dominant, but gentle. And she said the words not even her soldiers would ever dare believe.
Stay.
Not because you owe me. Not because you are bound by a promise. Stay because you choose me. I do, I said. She closed her eyes, relief washing over her. Naira eventually reclaimed command, not through force, but through proof. Her strategies saved the Empire during a border conflict, and the same council that condemned her was forced to acknowledge her brilliance and reinstate her.
But things were different now.
She never hid me again. I walked beside her, not as a hostage or a protected civilian, but as a partner. Whispers spread across Virion Prime about the commander who loved a human and the human who stood before a council to defend her honor. And Naira never forgot the moment that shattered her worldview. The night she asked, "You like my body?" And the human who returned her strength simply by telling her the truth. We weren't two species anymore. We were two hearts that chose each other against expectation, tradition, and empire. And sometimes, that is how civilizations change.